Hello everyone, this is Azeeza Jalaludeen. I'm the co-founder for Shine ADA, Shine Academia de Edificacio. I'm here from Singapore speaking to you live with our dearest YP Lai, and he is right now in Australia, Perth. He's our friend from Business Network International BNI, and he's a national director for some of the countries. But most excitingly, today's call is very much about the lifestyle of business owners, and it's very interesting for us to. Well, I have to tell you this before I start the call, and that I was very inspired by the session that YP did last weekend in Singapore. It was very specific to Business Network International directors and ambassadors. We call them as DNA, and this group of people who are very busy running our own business, yet we are setting aside some time to bring together business people to launch chapters. So while in the program, he actually shared with us this 168 magic rule, and that kind of excited me a lot because it's about business owners getting a new kind of structure to their business life so that they can fulfill it. And it was very mind-blowing because that's possibly something that many of us have overlooked. And so today we are going to have this call with him. And for those listening in, thank you so much for coming online, because this is going to be a fun session and a very informative and knowledge sharing session, because this man, I have to say, he really blew me off, in terms of the knowledge he holds, the heart he holds, and also the passion he holds to not just doing his BNI business, which is so massive. I'm talking about running a business. But I love to introduce YP this way. He's a Malaysian Chinese, and then he stays in Australia, Perth, and his business is spread all over in Korea, in Vietnam, in Thailand, and in Philippines. And he still travels to India, to China, I think, and definitely to Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm talking about a man who's traveling so extensively, yet he's living in this beautiful. I know when you say Perth, you will kind of get it that okay, he got something grounded with himself. So we're going to have a call with him because his heart is a lot about the passion he holds for business owners to live a very balanced life, which I think is very important. So let's welcome YP.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's really a pleasure to be on this Google Hangout with you. And you've talked about something that I'm really passionate about. Because as a BNI National Director, I travel to so many different countries and I work with thousands and thousands of business owners. And always, you see a similar pattern. Business owners want to get so much out of life. They want to achieve so much. They got dreams, they got visions, they got passion. At the same time, they're tired. Many of them feel very stressed out. So in the pursuit of, wanting to achieve their business goals, their life mission, and so on, they sometimes get burnt out. They sometimes sort of like lose what they are working for, in the sense that many people tend to say that they're doing it for a family, they're doing it for a better life. But when you're on a treadmill, when you're the rat on a treadmill, there's no time for relationships, no time for people you love. At the end of the day, hey, our health might even be challenged. And I feel that that's very sad, So what I do with the 7 secrets is that I really want to share how I managed to, get my life a bit more into balance and share techniques, strategies with people so that they too can live a more balanced life. Thank you so much for letting me share on this.
Oh, that is really my pleasure. In our mission in Shine ADA, we're talking about creating and nurturing conscious global leaders. And when I see one conscious global leader, how can I not put them on our channel, on our space, and share with people? We take ourselves as the mentor makers. At the same time, we really honor the mentor in everyone. So we're looking at an amazing mentor in you, who is, I love that tagline you're putting on your screen right now, Chief Dream Builder. And I can really vouch for the importance of building dreams. Not only that, it nurtures us, but also when we share, we get people to build their dreams and live their dreams. That is so amazing. So your work is very important, and we are blessed to have you in our journey and to be on this call with you, definitely. And so tell us about more on this role that you have, and embraced as a chief dream builder. Tell us about that.
Okay, I mean, I thought that title was a bit catchy in a sense that, what I'm doing is helping people achieve their dreams, but not only thinking about financial dreams, but, all of us want to have a complete life, to be able to have time for ourselves and time for people we love, and to do meaningful things in the community. So that's the basic dream for, everyone, every single one of us. And sometimes as we go on in life, as we find that there are more things that we want to do, but the time seems to get lesser and lesser. And what happens is that we start to cut down our dreams. And at the end of the day, never ever getting to achieve what we really want to do or meaningful things that we want to do in our life. So that's why I thought that, one of the most important things I can do is to help people achieve their dreams. That's why I call myself a chief dream builder. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. And it's like not just catchy, man. I think it's like, oh my God, it's really amazing. One thing let's talk about this situation that we have with business owners. You see thousands of them, you travel, and interestingly, you meet people like who are so vast in the culture and the difference. I mean, we are all Asians. We have some interesting roots that we share, but we're talking about different languages, different cultures, different ways of lifestyle. And when you meet all of them, what do you think is most lacking, or what do you think can be improved in the way that business people live our life?
Actually, though we have different languages, different culture, we are all the same. And just now you were mentioning about the 168 planner that I shared the other day. That's basically the same. No matter which country, which time zone you're in, all of us are limited with 168 hours. Yep. Where does the 168 come from? The 168 comes from basically 24 hours a day, times 7 days a week. So all of us have got to put everything we want in our life within those 168 hours. Yeah. So so the similarity is all business owners, in fact, not only business owners, everyone, whether you're an employee, employer, we are generally pressed for time. We want to live a 36-hour day in 24 hours. Yeah. So unless we've got a proper system of trying to fit all the puzzles in these 168 hours, we are forever chasing our tail, rushing from one event to another event, trying to fit everything in. Yeah. So it's my belief that, we've got to identify what are the things that's most important in our life, things like, having enough rest, time for a meal or exercise, then time for business meetings, meeting clients, and so on. Then there's the other area of personal development. As a human being, we've got to be growing all the time, learning new things, improving ourselves, making ourselves better, okay? And then there's contribution time where you can actually give back to the community. And I would say that the last part is actually the spiritual time. I believe that, all human beings are spiritual beings. No matter what religion you come from, or even if you don't have a religion, we need to be in touch with our inner self. So spending time a bit for meditation, or just doing gardening. Like me, I love gardening. When you do gardening, you're in touch with nature, you're in touch with yourself, or simply just go for a walk in the park. So we've got to allocate time to have all those important things, or we call the big rocks in our life, fixed into the calendar. If you don't have it fixed, as a business owner, what's going to happen? Work will always expand. That's Murphy's law. No matter how much time you allocate a particular task, it will just grow and grow. So we don't set aside specific times to be doing specific things and develop a discipline to have those things done within those time slots. We're going to have a life that's pretty out of balance, and we will be feeling that, we are running on a perpetual treadmill. Yeah, that's it, So your question was, what's the similarity? I think, all business owners face that time pressure. Yeah.
So we all share the same issues in life in that
That's
sense.
right.
So it doesn't matter where we come from.
Yeah, that's right. So basically, I just share with them, what are 7 things you got to do in the morning? Simple things that, what can you just take natural stuff that increases your metabolism so that you've got higher energy throughout the day, what is it that you can do to have a better flow of energy? We've got what little chi exercise that you can do early in the morning, so that the energy flow in our body is continuous, and they'll keep you active throughout the whole day without having to drink multiple cups of coffee. Yeah. So, and then ideas like, gratitude, what's the most inspiring, one of the most inspiring thing in life is to be grateful, to be appreciative for something. So we always start our morning with what we call the minute of gratitude. What are things that we can be grateful for, the people, the situation. And in fact, when I do that sharing, I tell people, be grateful for challenges, because it's challenges that make us grow, that help us become better. Yeah. So these are the little things I can do in the morning. And then what can we do to become more productive, So for example, the 168 planner is just time slots. But what do you do within a time slot? And we all know that our brains are designed to be creative. Human beings are designed to think, not to store information. Yeah. So we need to have systems of where you can store your tasks, have it organized, so that every time when it comes to a time slot to do a particular task, you just pull out your task list and you get through them. Many of us have got this experience that we want to do one thing, yet suddenly another thought comes to mind and we chase B. When you're doing A, we think about B, and then suddenly we have C, D, E, and suddenly within an hour you realize that you're handling multiple things instead of focusing on one thing, and that stops us become efficient. So it's ideas like this, strategies like this, that how to make better use of our time to be more effective in whatever we do, be more focused, And we mentioned things like, nowadays people like to talk about multitasking, but the world is no longer multitasking. All the gurus about productivity are telling you got to monotask. Focus on one thing, give it a time slot, get it done, and then move on to the next task. So we'll be sharing ideas like that, And lastly, at the end of the day, how do you end your day? Yeah, not on Facebook, not on Instagram. Yeah, we got to be doing things that relaxes the mind, relaxes the body, prepare ourselves for a good night's sleep, because we really, as a human being, need the sleep. We need a solid 7-hour sleep so that our body can rejuvenate, so that we are ready for the next day. And what are the little things that you can do so that your mind is not thinking, oh, I've got to do this next, I've got to get ready the next thing, for the next morning. How to remove all those, worries, all those, to-do things from your brain at night, so that your brain is totally relaxed. Yeah, so it's ideas like that that will actually help us to find more peace, more balance.
Wow. Actually, when you talk about it, right, there's so much of clarity when you share that, because some people get so caught up with that doingness, and some people get so caught up with the calmness, and it's like inability to move. And sometimes they don't even know how to do it. So when you bring in this kind of a structured manner, and that's why I love that you are an engineer.
Yeah.
Who has got the idea of structures in place. And so when you put that activity-based structures to do with that calmness, it is so powerful, because you become very conscious and have a strong sense of presence when you are doing stuff with it. So that's really good. I mean, so how long have you been running this program, or how much have you reached out with this program? You have a program, the life balance system, right?
Yeah. Actually, what I'm sharing, the life balance system, is what I've been practicing all these years. I've been, I'm 52 years old now.
Wow.
I started getting into the corporate world, at a young age of 24. And I've been practicing many of these elements for the last almost 30 years. Yeah. So, guess what? Where did this whole, I would say, content came up? It's because of my children. I've got two young daughters. I've got a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old. And as they are now moving into they're in university and they're going out into the corporate world very soon, I thought that the best gift I could give them is a strong foundation on how to get their life organized, how to be able to achieve their goals, and at the same time getting their life in balance. So actually, when I initially prepared the content for this workshop, it was actually meant for an audience of 2 persons, my two daughters. So you can see that how much love and passion I put into the material, because it's for the two most important persons in my life, or two very important persons. Yeah. So it's something, not a theory, it's something that I've been practicing. So when I share with them, like for example, the 168 planner and all the various tools, I'm using things I do myself. Every single thing I share is tools, templates I use myself. to get a more balanced life. Yeah, no theory, all practical.
Very nice, and your practicals just blew up, just take us by, really a lot of clarity, and it gives so much of what do you call substance to the work that we are, that people do. So when you shared with us about the 168, it was quite wonderful, because we are talking about filling in slots, and then some of us want to do, at least for me, it's like want to do everything at one time, and then in the end, nothing happens. So when we try to put into that column that we have given us, and it's really fun when we color it with colors and all of that. So there's a lot of left brain and right brain activity going on, and then you get the what I got out of the session, that short. I think it was less than half an hour, right? You did it with us.
Yeah, about half an hour.
We got that distinction that, hey, well, I got so much more hours, so I can do so much more right now. I mean, that's like, wow, it's such a aha moment for me when I noticed that. That is amazing.
Yeah. So that 168, or the time managed element is only one of the 7 things. Actually, it's 8. One of the 8 things that I cover in those 2 days. Yeah, the main thing is that we want to achieve so much more in your life. You got to create the time space. If you don't have the time space, you can't have much more. You can't do many more things. Yeah. So the other thing is that for business owners is that sometimes they can't let go. Many business owners would prefer working in the business than on the business, because especially the Asian context, the trust element is sometimes missing. People don't trust other people to run certain elements of the business, and they want to do everything themselves. And in a way, that's why business owners, run out of time or get so stressed, or they get so stressed. So part of the process is to show them, how important it is for them to work on the business, and how to set up structures that are able to monitor their own business, so that at the same time, while you delegate the responsibilities, you've got your dashboard measuring all the important KPIs or the metrics of your business, so that on a daily basis, you know what's going on, though you're not the one doing it. Yeah. And especially coming from a BNI background, BNI is about business owners, working with each other, building relationship to a trusted level. So these are service providers that you already trust. So part of this thing is that learning how to work with other people to generate sales for you, and to outsource your work to other people to handle. So that's the so-called the second secret working on a business. Make sense?
Yes, absolutely. When you tell me structures, I feel like this word that says structures that make your life work. It's not just about this.
Yeah. That's why companies invest thousands of dollars into ISO systems, because ISO is simply having a system, a checklist, so that everybody knows exactly what needs to be done. And like we said, the other day, systems guarantee results. Yeah.
Absolutely, that is something that many of us overlook when doing business or even in our life. And this can go on in terms of that. So tell us a little bit more about the other topics that you cover in the life balance system program.
Okay. All of us, whether you're an employee or employer, all of us want to increase our wealth. We want to have more money, or to do things, not necessarily money for the sake of having money, but we want more wealth to be able to do more things. Yeah. So I believe that there are 3 principles to becoming richer. First thing, you got to earn more, whether as an employee or a business owner, and that's covered in secret number 2, working on a business. The next one is this: you got to save. If whatever you earn, you don't save, you do not have the resources to invest, which is the third element of it. So it's to earn, to save, and to invest. So the other secrets cover these 3 things. So secret number 3, we talk about managing your finance. How can you manage your finance in a way that you've got funds to take care of your necessities, funds to build, structures for wealth, or for growing your wealth, and also then what are the ways that you can actually allocate some for your personal development, and for some ways to give back to the community. So managing your finance is one very important area. And leading from then on, we talk about building assets. One of the challenges of business owners is this: it's a direct line. Whatever they earn from business becomes what feeds their family. So that's a pressure point. When you depend on your company's business to be feeding your family, there's a lot of stress because anything goes wrong here, this part here suffers. So it's important for us to build assets in a sense that whatever we earn from business must go to the intermediary. It must be a what we say a asset or wealth creating mechanism. For example, whatever you earn from your company, go buy a house or go buy a shop house and you rent it out. So if the business is not there, you still got your shop house. The shop house will still be generating rental income that will be able to feed your family. Okay. So the idea about building your assets is not simply just having assets, but having assets so that you are able to live off your assets to feed your family. I mean, this is a big complicated picture, but this is a quick summary of it. Yeah. So once a business owner is able to have steady assets that can create what I would say leverage income for their family to feed their family to do things that they really want, then there's less stress on the individual. Then doing the business will become more pleasurable, more enjoyable. Yeah. So that's one way to do that. And so that's enough about money. The other area, the next area, the fifth area that we cover is maintaining good health. What sort of all of us are busy. So what sort of exercise can you do in 20 minutes? What sort of relaxation techniques we can use? Yeah. What sort of diets we should be eating? So that's covering the diets and the exercise and the meditation and the lifestyle that we want to have, so that we give our body and our mind and sufficient rest and rejuvenation. Yeah. Then comes the next area, which is area number 6, which is relationships. At the end of the day, people are more important than whatever business, whatever finances. You've seen people dropping everything when somebody that's dear to them is having some health challenge, or there are business owners that totally lose focus the minute they have got some relationship challenges. Yeah. So it's all about maintaining good relationships with people that you love, your family, your family. In fact, even with your business partners and people around you, how do you maintain all these strong relationships so that people become supportive of you? And when you've got a group of people supporting you, nurturing you, you become more powerful, you become more driven to achieve more because of them. So this part covers about relationships and what are the things that stop us from having good relationships. What are the things we need to do to have strong relationships? And sometimes when we communicate our love for somebody, for example, somebody may want to give a rose or a present to the significant other, but somehow the recipient doesn't seem to really appreciate it. And this is the reason. The reason is that all of us speak different love languages. So we cover about love languages. There are basically 5 different types of love languages. We look at each of them. It's a bit like understanding DISC, for love languages. Yeah. When somebody speaks a particular love language, what do we need to do for them to feel loved? So we cover areas like that. Yeah, and this is the part where many of our participants, they say, "Wow, now I know why my partner is not responding to all these efforts." For example, many of us in business, we travel, and every time we travel, we tend to buy presents for our significant other. Okay, but when you come back, if the significant other's love language is not gift, all these presents mean nothing. If the other significant other's love language is, for example, physical touch, all they want when you come back from a long trip is to give them a good hug, kiss them, and then for those of people whose primary language is words of affirmation, all they want to do is to say, "I love you, darling. I miss you so much."
Wow.
So understanding what's the love language of your partner is so very important. Yeah, and this is one area that we cover too. Yeah. And then we talk about personal development. All of us want to learn, but we are so stressed out for time that we don't have time to attend workshops, we don't have time to attend webinars and so on. So although we've got this hunger to learn, we also got to be able to manage the learning and make ourselves bigger to be able to absorb more knowledge. Yeah. So the second last area we cover is how to manage your learning. We're all hungry to learn how to manage your learning, how to make our capacity to learn bigger, how can we do things, or what are the easy ways for us to gain knowledge, what are the tools out there phone, mobile apps, webinars, blogs, many different areas that we can pick up knowledge. Yeah. One of the things that many of me and my friends use is something called a simple app called Flipboard. It's your own personal newsletter that on a daily basis give you all the articles about topics that you're interested in, and that's one of the easiest way to learn, to read things that you're interested about. And each of those articles that you read is about 4 to 5 minutes. So it could be on a bus, waiting for your next appointment, and so on. And you get a continuous flow of learning. Yeah, tips like that. And the last thing is basically taking action. All of us know that we've got to take action, but somehow there's always an inertia against taking action. So we have a system where you can, identify what you really, number one, what's the thing that you really want to improve on. Set up, simple, easy steps for you to achieve those goals, and have yourself accountability partners. So as a result of attending the workshop, you've got people that will be working with you closely, helping you, on a daily basis if you want, or on a weekly basis to help you achieve your goals. Gee, I've been talking a lot. But this is definitely one area I'm very passionate about. Yeah.
Yes. Actually, that is so much of information. How many days do you do this over? How many days program is it?
It's a 2-day program.
Okay. Yeah. So and the hours, how long do people sit into is it the office hours or is it longer?
Yeah, it's office hours. We generally start by 8:30 and we finish by 6. Yeah, for 2 days. Yeah.
Wow, that is so much of wonderful information. I'm like, when you first said about what food to take to increase the metabolism, I'm like, yes, tell me, and all of that. So many different information about the love language and about so many other stuff that you shared really inspired me. And most importantly, you touched on the conscious, the personal development, the importance to have consciousness in our mind, to become more aware about how we are living our life. I think that will create a lot of clarity in people. I mean, especially for business people, because it's so important for us to know that in order for us to optimize our human potential and to really live a fulfilling life, we need to be more grounded and more effective. And I think your program, and I love that name, Life Balance System, because that's like, wow. And I think it speaks for itself to many ways. And is there anything else you'd like to share, YP, with us on this call?
Yeah, actually, I think that, if you were to look at the community out there, people are very driven about wealth. People want to create more wealth. They want to learn how to trade forex. They want to learn how to, invest in stock market, do an online business, and so on. So people want to get wealthier. But if the fundamental is not there, you could go and take up a course that says you got to discipline yourself to do certain exercise every day. But if you don't have the time to do that, if you don't have the discipline to do that, all the learning becomes theory. So I feel that this seven secrets workshop is actually not only about life balance. It's actually a workshop for you to create the space, the time and the space for you to be able to learn other things that actually gets us ahead in life. Yeah. So I was just thinking that anybody who's interested to want to become wealthier should start off with this workshop. That's the fundamental.
And you have a background of real estate. I totally forgot about that. You also have a background in real estate, right? Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah.
Okay, basically, moving to Australia, I've taken out a real estate license, basically for myself, because I invest in property. Many years ago, when I read David Allen's book, he was saying that to be successful, to build your wealth, you need to have 4 streams of income. You need a traditional business. You need to have a property investment. You need to invest in the stock market or the financial markets, and lastly, you need to have an online business. So I really believe in that, and it's something that I subscribe to. So I took up a real estate license, here in Australia, so that I can know the markets better, and basically so that I can invest better. And I do assist people, but generally only close friends. Yeah. On property investment.
Very nice, very nice. So everyone, just log into his website. It's on the page of YP. It's called YP Life Balance Systems. YPLaiNational.com. Please go in there and check out what he has to offer. And we're going to be having a session very soon in Singapore, right? Is there any programs coming up other than what are the countries currently you are planning to have or would love to have some support in creating?
Okay, tentatively we could be having one in Singapore, probably Q3, the third quarter, September, October this year.
All right.
Yeah, that'll be the most convenient one here for people in Singapore.
Yeah, so is there a lot, when we go to your page, is there like a opt-in page where people can leave their name and email address at this moment?
Yes, they can. They can just basically register and I'll get their contact. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we will love to be in touch, and you can also get in touch with us at our Shine page and drop in a message on our this comment in this Google Hangout page as well. So we really want to thank YP. Thank you so much for your time, for joining in, and you really inspire me. With all the work that you do, especially across Asia, and that is really a mission that we find that we found you to see someone doing the work that we have aspired to do in places where we are not doing. So it's like, oh my God, this man needs all the support, and we are here to support as well. Let us know how else we can be of service to you.
Thank you so much, Azeeza. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So thank you.
Everybody, all the best in your life's journey, and have a great week ahead.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you, everyone. Thank you once again for joining in this call. And we really would love to be connected with you. Join us on our website, on YP's page, our page. And please drop in any questions that you have that we can answer as well. So once again, this is Azeeza Jalaludeen, and we are so glad to have you on this call. So have an awesome week too. Bye-bye.